Hi, it's Ra, Rishi Kavi Raghudas from Star Presence Astrology, here to give the astrological forecast for Tuesday, May 27th, 2025. Well, after that big, complicated day, astrologically speaking, yesterday, today is something of a breather. Yesterday was a holiday here in the United States, but it was still very complicated. The sun today is at 6 moving to 7 degrees of let's communicate and socialize. It's all about educating our minds. Air sign Gemini, and the moon today is moving through the early to mid degrees of Gemini because the new moon, where the moon conjoined the sun at 6 degrees of Gemini, was just last night. So now we're in the waxing phase of the moon, and today is a nice day to project for what we want to accomplish in the coming lunar month. Now, the moon makes mostly positive aspects today, only two of them, both of them are highly social, and Mercury, the planet of communication, which is Gemini's ruling planet, is in the mix as well. In fact, that's the first aspect that is made today. Mercury is at 3 degrees of Gemini and makes a harmonious flowing trine, a nice angle to Pluto, the Lord of Power, at 3 degrees of Aquarius. At 10:56 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 1:56 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and 6:56 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. And this is very nice. That is mental self-empowerment and being able to dig deeply and do lots of research. That's very nice. And then later in the day, the moon does not even make an aspect until much later in the day toward the evening, when it makes from 8 degrees of Gemini a harmonious, smooth sextile, 60-degree angle to Mars, a planet of energy, sometimes conflict, but this is harmonious, which is sitting at 18 degrees of Leo. So the moon at 18 degrees of Gemini, is now in a harmonious sextile to Mars at 18 of Leo. That's very nice. That is nice and passionate, and the mind is working. There's a lot of movement there. That's kind of why I'm wearing my T-shirt here that has it has Steve McQueen's Bullet Mustang from the movie Bullet. I actually got to touch that at the Woodward Dream Cruise in Detroit. But there's kind of movement and power today, whether it's transportation or on the mental level. That moon sextile Mars occurs at 4:35 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 7:35 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and 12:35 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time. So it just feels like you're in a Mustang today, maybe going up and down the hills of San Francisco. I wouldn't recommend it in the way the Bullet did it. However, we get our reward in the evening when the moon at 20 degrees of Gemini makes another harmonious sextile, this one to Venus, the planet of love and affection, at 20 degrees of Aries. That is nice and loving and beautiful and passionate because Venus is in a fire sign. That occurs at 8:21 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 11:21 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 4:21 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Overall, a very nice flowing day with some movement and power to it. So, you want to be in a Mustang going up and down those hills, today might be the day for it. I'm Ra, Rishi Kavi Raghudas from Star Presence Astrology. Now, if you would like to have a personal reading with me, you can book it on my website, starpresence.net. Remember, from the very moment that you're born, you've got star presence. Enjoy this day, no matter what.